We're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody to our 3:30 butterfly encounter. My name is Sarah and this is Megan, and we're going to tell you a little bit about our butterflies here, and then our grand finale is to release the ones that have emerged from their chrysalises. So by a show of hands, who is here for their first visit to the Butterfly Pavilion? Wonderful, welcome. Any return visitors out there? Welcome back. So can someone tell me one of the animals they've had a chance to see here today? And one of the other exhibits?
What did you see today?
Butterflies. Of course, we are the Butterfly Pavilion. So on every day we have over 1,000 butterflies flying around our rainforest. What are some other animals besides butterflies that you've had a chance to see today? Get to meet. Do you remember her name? Rosie. So raise your hand if you got a chance to meet Rosie, our rose-haired tarantula from South America. Awesome. So we have tarantulas here, in addition to butterflies. What other animals? Did anyone see something that lives near the ocean or underwater? We do have some turtles. What else? Fish. Did anyone get a chance to touch a sea star? Or maybe a horseshoe crab? So we have lots of animals here at the Butterfly Pavilion, and they're kind of a unique group of animals. They're a little bit different than animals you might see at the Denver Zoo. In fact, they're missing something that a lot of other animals have. Does anyone know what it is that they're missing? All right, I'm going to give you a clue. Everyone feel around along the middle of your back. Tell me what you feel. Your spine or your backbone. So all the animals here at the Butterfly Pavilion, with the exception of a couple of fish and turtles actually, are called invertebrates, which means that they don't have any bones inside their body. So let's all practice saying that word, invertebrates. Invertebrate, all right. And so invertebrates actually represent 97% of all the animals on our planet. So they are a very big and diverse group of animals. So we're going to talk about our butterflies because that's why you guys are all here. My second question for you is, does anyone know how do we get all of these butterflies here in our rainforest? We catch them? That's a good guess. A couple of them we are able to raise here and release, but we actually get them from other countries. We work with about 10 different butterfly farms, and they look just like this. They're these big farms that have greenhouses that raise those butterflies from little caterpillars. And then when those caterpillars turn into chrysalises, they get mailed to places like the Butterfly Pavilion and other zoos to educate people about butterflies. So all of the species that you see in our rainforest are tropical species, which means they come from Central, South America, Africa, Asia. They all come from rainforest habitats. So let's talk a little bit about a butterfly's life cycle, because it's a little bit different than other animals. So what do all butterflies start out their life as? An egg. You got it. So here's a picture of some butterfly eggs. They look like little raindrops on the leaves. They usually get laid by the butterfly in little teeny clusters. So what's going to come out of that egg? Is an adult butterfly going to come out? A baby. What's a baby butterfly called? What do you call this thing? A caterpillar, right? So caterpillars can hatch from that egg. And that caterpillar is going to eat as much of its host plant, as much of the leaves from that plant as it can. It's eventually going to turn into a butterfly. So that caterpillar, during this stage of its life, is growing and molting its exoskeleton and shedding its outer layer of skin 5 or 6 different times. And then eventually, that outer layer of skin, that exoskeleton, because remember these animals don't have any bones in their body, that exoskeleton is going to harden and form something. Does anyone know what's it going to form? Before it's a butterfly, there's another very important stage. I'll show you a picture and see if this is something you recognize or maybe have seen here today. Has anyone seen something that looks kind of like this picture? What do we call this? What this picture is? Do you guys know the word for it? Very close. Many of you have heard the word cocoon. The word for what a butterfly creates is actually called a chrysalis. Has anyone heard that word today? So a chrysalis is that hardened exoskeleton from that caterpillar. And so while it's in that chrysalis, its body's changing and it's growing wings. And then after a couple of weeks, that chrysalis is going to start to wiggle. And what's going to come out of it? Oh, butterfly, you got it. And so just backing up for a second, this chrysalis is how we get our butterflies here. We get them from those butterfly farms. They mail us several hundred chrysalids every single week, and we hang them up, just think like they'd be hanging from a leaf out in the rainforest. And then when they emerge as butterflies, we release them into our rainforest. So in the wild, a butterfly, from the time it's an egg to an adult butterfly, only about 2% of them are able to survive. So they have a pretty hard life in the rainforest. So they have to have some special adaptations or things that help increase their chance of survival from egg to adult. So let's take a look at this first butterfly and think about what adaptation that it might have. So has anyone seen a butterfly that looks like this today? Yeah? Anyone want to take a guess as to what the name of this butterfly is? You've heard it. It is an owl butterfly. How do you think it gets its name, owl butterfly? Yeah, it's got big eye spots on its wings. So those big eye spots help trick predators like a bird that might want to make this its next meal. It makes it look like a bigger, scarier animal than it is. So this butterfly has these big eye spots as this adaptation to help increase their chance of survival and increase the chance that they're not going to get eaten by predators. Let's put this one over here. Sometimes when they emerge, they're a little bit shy about flying. We'll let him take his time. Okay, let's take a look at this next butterfly. So that was our owl. All right, this one, and our owl butterfly actually is one of the two. Oh, it already flew away. Our owl butterfly is one of two species that we see the entire life cycle for. So we actually have their host plant. And so that adult butterfly will lay its eggs and it becomes food for the caterpillar. So right behind you, there's a big glass case. There's some owl butterfly caterpillars in there, and maybe even a chrysalis. There was at least this weekend. Okay, so this one is another common butterfly we have here. It's got some eye spots on the outside of its wings, like the owl, but when it flies away, notice how its color changes. There we go. So that... So did anyone see a butterfly that looked like that one today? That's our blue-banded morpho. So you notice that when its wings were closed, it camouflaged in pretty well to the rainforest. It was able to hide itself, protect it from getting eaten. When it flew away, what happened? What color did it change to? Blue. It had that bright blue color, which again is very distracting for predators that are trying to chase it through the dense rainforest vegetation. So that's a way, that distraction color is also a way that that butterfly increases its chance of survival. This last one we just wanted to show you. This is actually a species that comes from Australia. This is one of our birdwing butterflies. This is actually the female. The male looks just like that, except it has a bright green color to its wings. And the reason we want to show you this butterfly is because this is one of our butterflies that's actually an endangered species. Does anyone know what that means if it's an endangered species? All right, do you think there are a lot of these butterflies or not as many of these butterflies out in the wild? So it's endangered because it comes from a rainforest habitat in Australia, which is actually a threatened habitat. So Megan's going to tell you a little bit about our connection to the rainforest, why it's so important, not only because of the butterflies that we bring here, but also because how it's important to us. And then she's going to go ahead and release the ones that have emerged.
So the important thing about our rainforest is that we get a lot of our oxygen from it. About 20% of the oxygen that we breathe here comes from the rainforest. So ways that we can help keep our rainforest healthy and safe is to do a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we love, like coffee and chocolate, that we can buy sustainably to help keep our rainforest healthy. Another thing you can
I have a question.
Sure.
You batted 1 for 3 today.
What's that?
As batting average, you were 1 for 3 today.
Yeah.
1 flew and 2
Two
crashed.
crash landed, yeah.
Is that normal?
Yeah, it is. When they first emerge, if you spend some time at our chrysalis chamber in the back there, you'll see that when they first emerge, their wings are really crumpled. That's because they need to kind of pump blood through their body. It takes them a couple hours before their wings are fully hardened and they're ready to fly. Sometimes they get a little bit, hey guys, a little, I don't want to say nervous,
But the 2 that crash landed,
yeah.
were their wheels broken from that crash
I
landing?
think they were just getting used to the sensation of it.
But they didn't open their wings at all. They just went to fly.
They just went, yeah. Well, then the one you saw, the one that I put over there, then eventually
Then it
it's like,
moved,
okay,
yeah.
I'm ready. So they're usually
My question is, would it be easier on the little critters if you didn't drop them from such a high altitude?
I mean, we could all do, we could set them onto the side, I guess. Yeah. Sometimes just giving them that little nudge and then they take flight. But see, most of them just kind of are like, oh,
Yeah, they're
here we
doing
go.
fine.
There's another blue morpho.
Here he goes. Yes. Did you have a question? You like her butterflies? Thanks. We do